There's no shortage of taglines in the cryptocurrency space. We are Satoshi, bank the unbanked, the currency of the future. Well, to talk about Voyager, we have to go back into time and talk about Bitcoins and their tagline, the people-powered blockchain. It's June of 2017, and between June the 28th of 2017 and July the 16th of 2017, the ICO for Bitcoins was occurring. From what I could tell, the project raised just above 1.68 million in the ICO. The price was 3 cents and the total supply just above 222,300,000. The founder and CEO, Shingo Levine. As I mentioned, the people-powered blockchain. Bitcoin's mission is to make the daunting cryptocurrency market accessible to everybody, accelerating adoption of blockchain technology and democratizing ownership of cryptocurrencies. They make cryptocurrencies easier to purchase and transfer, allowing the average individual to participate in the new economy. The ICO closes in July of 2017 for Bitcoins. Let's time travel again. Forward just 4 months later, and we have Ethos. Bitcoins, BQX, would rebrand to ethos.io. The CEO, Shingo Levine, said that this was just a mere upgrade. Ethos.io continued to maintain the tagline of the people-powered blockchain. Bear in mind that the theme has not changed from Bitcoins. It's still about being able to have cryptocurrency easy to use for individuals and for individuals to take control. If you've been in the crypto space, you understand this is still a theme pitched by many projects to this day, 4 years later in 2021. From the inception of Bitcoins, it was about a platform that was the all-in place for crypto. It featured a wallet that made it easy for crypto users, and the mission was to advance adoption in the crypto space. So from ethos.io, we now have to fast forward again to February of 2019. This is when Voyager would agree to purchase ethos.io and their wallet, all things combined, for the price of $4 million. So ethos.io, formerly known as Bitcoins, currently with the same CEO, now in February of 2019, is purchased by Voyager, and that's Voyager Digital. Now, what's important to remember is Voyager at that time, within the same month, that would be February of 2019, had just went public, and at the same time, they agreed to this purchase. Something else to remember is Voyager had just begun months earlier in 2018. That was July of 2018, where they sought to be a crypto brokerage that essentially performed many of the same functions that the team with Bitcoins and ethos.io set out to achieve. So when we look at this acquisition, I think it's safe to say it could have been a match made in heaven. Two teams with somewhat the same mission. Why not? You can even see when you check out ethos.io, where for all intensive purposes, it shows we're basically now Voyager. Whew, all this time travel's got me groggy. I digress. Now let's focus on Voyager and what their mission was before and after the acquisition of ethos.io. Now, a little closer on that deal. Voyager said it will pick up an allocation of Ethos tokens, which the target company, formerly known as Bitcoins, issued through an initial coin offering in July of 2017, raising that $1.6 million that I mentioned before. This is according to CoinDesk, their ICO tracker. Voyager will pay for the acquisition with its listed shares. Earlier this month, the New York-based startup went public through a reverse merger with a dormant company traded on Canada's TSX Venture Exchange. As part of the deal, Shingo Levine, founder and CEO of Ethos, will become Voyager's Chief Innovation Officer and join the company's board. And Ethos former owners will have the right to nominate one director for the appointment to the Voyager board at each annual general meeting, once they have amassed at least 3.5 million shares. I think that's extremely important to point out. It's very similar to other companies which are purchased, and we know that Voyager is publicly traded, that beginning concept of what BitQuince and Ethos wanted to achieve should be carried over somewhat because the CEO, Mr. Levine, would be a part of the team as the innovation officer. So I do like the fact that there was likely something about the previous projects that the team really liked that they still wanted to keep in place. So we now have in crypto an example of it operating somewhat like we see in the corporate world with mergers and acquisitions. The founding team included Uber's co-founder, Oscar Salazar, and the app's early investors, and there were 3 others that it included. But what I want to focus on is the CEO, which is Steve Ehrlich, who was previously the CEO of Lightspeed Financial and the professional trading arm for online stockbroker E-Trade. Now that the history lesson is over, let's talk specifically about what Voyager does, what their aim is, and about VGX. The crypto brokerage service, which launched in October of 2018, now supports over 55 crypto assets and has a unique smart order routing technology that connects it with over a dozen crypto exchanges. The mobile app of Voyager Token launched in January 2019, making it even easier for the users to trade cryptos. The native token of the brokerage, Voyager Token, VGX, is used to reward users within the Voyager ecosystem. VGX also generates interest when held in the Voyager app. It offers cashback rewards and other services exclusive to Voyager users. Voyager also offers 100% commission-free transactions, including buying and selling. Traders only have to pay the quoted price when executing an order on the platform. So think about this. We've got a crypto app that works with many different exchanges where it can be the one-stop shop where users go and get their crypto. So I don't have to go here to Coinbase, to Binance, all over the place, to KuCoin, etc. I can get my assets from one place. Now let's be honest. With the fact that there's over 7,000 cryptocurrencies and they currently have over 55, the likelihood is at this current moment in time, you're going to have to go somewhere else. But the concept that I can go to one place that has smart order routing that will get it from different places for me, I think that's what people are looking for in the cryptocurrency space, especially those new to the space. So it's important that we keep in mind, maybe it's not for everyone, but any of you have been in crypto for some time and you've had to go through the ordeal of having multiple wallets, figuring out how to work them, had to use multiple exchanges, go through the KYC process for multiple exchanges, go through the setup, put your email address in and all those things. Think about if you could have started with a particular platform that, because they are listed publicly, probably has more regulation to it, which does add an element of safety. You could use that and have access right off the bat to 55 or more cryptocurrencies in what is a one-stop shop. It's kind of hard to deny that that would not be great for beginners, if not great for everyone else. Something else of note, which is kind of hard to ignore, is the partnerships. On Very Unlikely, we always talk about partnerships because just like in the real world, and Voyager obviously is in the real world and the crypto world combined, we can't overlook partners. And Voyager has partnerships with the likes of heavy hitters such as AWS, we all know Amazon, Coinbase, Ledger, and Google. These are mammoth partnerships. No way you can ignore those. There's a reason why they have partnered with them. And I think that does speak highly about the project. What we have to remember is because this particular project has crossed paths with the traditional world and the fact that it is publicly traded means that Steve Ehrlich, who also, by the way, as I mentioned earlier, used to run the professional arm of E-Trade, probably knows the corporate lingo, probably has shook hands, rubbed elbows with the likes of many in the traditional corporate world. There's no way to deny that this will make a difference. As far as the active addresses, currently the 30-day average is over 30,000 addresses. Voyager, quarter over quarter, is up in their use by 16x. So where are we at current day? Look, at the time of this video, of course, the max supply has not changed from the beginning origins from Bitquints to Ethos.io on to Voyager. 222,300,000. Just under that number, actually. If you want to be really specific, it's 222,295,208 for those of you that want it to be spot on. All of those tokens are currently in the current circulating supply, so we will not have any causing downward pressure. All tokens are distributed. The current price is $2.79 with a market cap of $620 million. Look, if we step back and think about the concept, truly making it easier for those in the crypto space, taking away fees, we've got to really think about it. It's a pretty good idea. We've got a guy that's running it who understands the traditional space. Something that I definitely want to add is Steve Ehrlich does a fantastic job of doing interviews and handling the media aspect, which, let's face it, many in the crypto space don't do well. Now, we do have some great ones. Charles Hoskinson, for example, he does a heck of a good job in front of the camera explaining to people about ADA. That is not the case for all of these cryptocurrencies. This CEO, who is also a co-founder, not just someone who bought something. He was actually part of the founding team, which I think is great. He has skin in the game. He wasn't just hired. He was there from inception. I think it's very important. Steve Ehrlich has been on many different major news networks and had interviews. So I think that's very important. You can look it up right now on YouTube. You're going to see him on various networks explaining about what Voyager Digital has to offer and about the VGX token and the cryptocurrency space in general. That's pretty big. So I do like that added touch there. What's my outlook on Voyager and the VGX token? I think it's important to remember this is a token that is for incentive and rewards. Take that however you want to, but I think it's important to remember that. Also know that I do not currently hold any VGX and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm simply here to give you my opinions on the crypto space and certain projects and provide you information to make your own decisions. Before you invest, you should seek the help of a financial professional. I think there's a lot of good stuff going on for Voyager and the VGX token. I think it's undeniable that cutting out the middleman and not having to run to all kinds of different spaces to get different wallets, to get different platforms to be able to trade on and be able to go to one place is major. Now, I do think they will quickly need to continue adding more projects, which the CEO said they plan to do, and they are quickly doing so. The team is composed of some successful individuals. One of the founders, the co-founder of Uber, that again is undeniable. So I think that is something else of note. So we've got a team who's been successful in the corporate world, and I do think that's going to bring some positive vibes to the crypto world and getting things done. I talked about the fast growth, 16x quarter over quarter. It's undeniable. Users are really taking to the site, and just with a deeper look, they did talk about having a debit card, a credit card, and really focusing on this being a lifestyle type of platform. So whether it's American Express, whether it's Visa, having that type of element, I do think is going to be somewhat of a big deal. And those incentives that come with VGX, I think they're nice. Certainly for a coin that is already fully distributed. So that's something else to add to it that I mentioned earlier. Another positive, VYGVF. That is the ticker symbol for Voyager Digital. That's a big deal. It's already publicly traded. It does add an element of safety. So my take overall is Voyager VGX is doing some big things in the crypto space. You now know the history. I certainly think it's something that if I had to give it my stamp, I'm going to give it my stamp as a potential long-term hold. The reason why, we know that crypto is just getting started. To have this type of focus already in these different areas to make crypto easier for people to use. And by the way, the majority of their coins do gain interest. So money is going to be made in the bear market or the bull market using this app if you're willing to take advantage of the features that the app affords you. I wanted to provide you enough information to at least understand what Voyager VGX does so you can make your own decision. Thanks for watching the content. I think that Voyager has a bright future ahead of it. And I think overall, those who are willing to hold long-term, but also even short-term, if the market continues in the bull market fashion and plays out, I think we're going to see some positive price action and certainly a lot over time as this site continues to get more and more users. And I do believe that's what it will do. Take a look at some of Steve Ehrlich's interviews. I think you'll be somewhat impressed with them. Thanks for watching the content. For those of you that haven't subscribed, you should consider subscribing to the channel. For those of you that have subscribed, I want to thank each and every one of you. I've got a free gift for you. It's a big fat like button. Hit the like button. And many of you that do watch my content are not subscribed. What are you waiting for? I will continue to bring you content on projects that are out, new projects that are coming out. Make sure to hit the bell for notification, and I will see you next time.